Welcome to Cool2Craft. I'm Tiffany Windsor.
And I'm Heidi Borchers.
Today is the jewelry episode.
We're all decked out in our jewelry.
I love getting all decked out.
It's fun.
It is. We've been stashing our jewelry away and it's time to bring it out.
And to show some really cool projects.
What are you creating today?
I have a wonderful eco project. It's using a water bottle and fabric and Lean's fabric fusion glue. It is fabulous.
Candace Jedrowitz is creating dangly earrings. These are metal earrings that you are going to love to create.
Seems like we're on the earring fling today.
I think we need to rename this the Earring Show. I am going to be creating, it's kind of combining what we've been doing for our girlfriend episode recently and jewelry. It's a gift tag and a pair of earrings. Super easy, created with the Aleene's Tacky Dots.
Love them.
Don't go away, we'll be right back. As we mentioned, today's show is all about jewelry, and I'm feeling all dolled up.
Well, you don't usually wear long earrings like that. They look really good on you.
I was saying to Heidi, I said, this is a bit too much for me. I think, you need a neck that's about 2 times as long as mine. And
I like it.
Okay, because
I like it because it kind of swings with you.
Yeah, it does. These really swing. But this is amazing because they are so lightweight.
You can't even feel
I
them.
don't feel them at all. And that's probably one of the reasons that I have in the past. Besides, I don't feel like I have a neck that's long enough. I stay away from those really large earrings because they're heavy.
They're really cute.
Not these. So these are eco-friendly.
They're eco-friendly. They're out of a plastic water bottle, or you could use like a soda bottle. Anything that's flat. You need that flatness to the bottle.
So will you show us how these are made?
I'm going to show you right now. For today's project, I'm going to use the Aleene's Fabric Fusion. It comes in a squeeze bottle, or it comes in this really cool pen. I'm also using a plastic bottle, and if you choose them that have a smooth edge, you could use, like this particular one is Smart Water. You could use like the soda bottle. Anything that's smooth is what you need. And we're going to use just a small piece of fabric. First thing we need to do is you cut the top off the bottle and just use a craft knife. And then I just simply cut it apart till I have squares like this. And you can use any size. This one is 1 7/8 for my earrings. Now I just use a template, put it down on my plastic, and then I just mark it. Next thing I do is I cut it out. And use really, really sharp scissors, really good scissors. This is a really nice pair of scissors. My Westcott. And it just makes it go quickly. Some of the plastic on the bottles are just really heavy duty. Now, I forgot to mention, if it has a label on it, be sure you take the label off as much as you can. There's always going to be probably some kind of glue. And then what I do is I use a adhesive sticker label remover. Just put it on, just kind of sprinkle it on, and then I wipe it off. That also takes off my marking pen, because you want that plastic to be crystal clear. I turn it over. This is going to be my back side. This is going to be my front side. The curved is going to be my front side. Now I'm using the Fabric Fusion. It's actually a permanent dry cleanable fabric adhesive. I'm using it today because I like it because it's clear. I'm not going to dry clean my earrings, but I like that it's clear and it works really fast. And then I take a small piece of cardboard and I squeegee it over the plastic. You want to make sure it's solid, that you don't have any lumps or globs of it, because that's where it will go through the fabric. Okay, the right side of the fabric goes against the glue. Then I use something just to roll to make sure it's stuck onto my plastic, like so. And then I just trim the excess fabric. And my fabric has glued to my plastic. Use a paper punch, and sometimes these plastics again are hard. Just punch it, and that's what we're going to use to attach our jump ring. Get the glue off here. And I just used an eye pin. And here's a few little beads. And just put them onto the eye pin. That's the one I'm looking for. And then I bend this over. When I have it all on, I bend it over, clip it off just a little bit so I have enough to turn with my needle nose pliers. And I just make a loop. Like so. And of course you make two of them. And then you take a jump ring, and remember that hole that we just put in. You might have to trim some of that, the fabric. Whoops. It just frayed a little bit there on the hole. We're going to put the end of our eye pin into that. Like so. And then I take some wire. This is 24 gauge wire. Have a tail of maybe 3 inches. Wrap it around something that's smooth, maybe about 6 times. 6, and give it another little tail on the other end. I put it down over my bead, wrap it real tight on the top, and then cut it. And then I took this bottom tail and just made it into a spiral. And there you have your earring, and all you need to do is to hook on the ear wire. And all I do, either I put a small jump ring, or I just open this up a little bit and put that eye pin right on there, and then close it back up. Like so. Now if you want to have where you put you can also put the little earring back on the back of it, glue it on the back of it, and you can use it where it just goes right onto the ear instead of dangling. And there you have it, a super, super simple earring, and it's eco-friendly.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe how easy these are.
Aren't they super simple? I mean, you're going to want, there's so many fabrics out there. I'm so excited.
I know. Finish your sentences, finish your sentences.
There's so many fabrics out there. Can you imagine? You could make something to go with every outfit that you have.
I know.
And just hundreds of them. I'm speechless. But I want, before we go on to the next thing, I want to show you though, because we kind of got onto earrings and we really didn't, you know, sometimes we don't mean to do, we don't know what everybody's doing until we come together and do the show. And it was funny.
We all ended up making earrings today.
But I was also starting to make a necklace. So that's how I would do the necklace. Same technique, lay it out and then just punch it and then put your jump rings in between. But I wanted to show how I was starting to make a necklace to go with this.
So
Super
you're
simple
not,
again.
obviously not just limited to the earrings.
Don't stop there.
Now with the necklace, keep in mind you are going to want to put some heavier beads on it because you want that weight on a necklace. You
Right.
don't want the weight on the earrings.
I find every time I make eco jewelry out of like a water bottle, I have to use the glass beads because they're heavier and they pull it down.
That's one of the mistakes that I have made in the past. It's like, oh, this is so cool, and I'm making this necklace.
It floats.
And it practically floats, and so
Yeah.
you do have to weight those down. So
Yeah.
that is so cool, Eco Heidi.
Thank you.
Coming up next is Candace Jodrowitz. Now, she is a whiz at working with the wire. And
She's a whiz at all of her creativity.
you know what? You're right.
And
Let's
she's a
see
muse
what-
on top of that.
I know. Okay, now you see why I created her as our creative muse, because
You created her?
yeah.
Candace, did you know that?
Hi, Candace.
Hello, ladies. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to my studio. Today, I'd like to show you some of my favorite things. Dangly little earrings. I love to wear them. I love to make them. And I think you might too. So sit back and watch. It's about to begin. You'll want to use 20 gauge wire for this pair of earrings, and you will need two 4-inch pieces for the ear wires, two 3-inch pieces for the longest dangle, two at 2 3/4 inches, and two at 2.5 inches, and a nice bead with a big hole so you can put two wires through it at the same time. Let me show you how I made the dangles. I'm going to show you the longest one, but all of them start at the bottom with a spiral. I just love spirals. I use it in all my work pretty much. Spirals everywhere. So I'm going to do my first bend, and I want to tell you that you want to keep the original handy so that you can copy it. Then I'm going to do my second bend, and I'm using just the tip of the round nose pliers. And you can bend a little bit closer too, if even as close as you want. So we'll go back and look right there. Then one that's a little bit shorter. Check it one more time. And that's only half of a loop or wiggle, whichever you prefer. And then that one bends after I get a little bit closer there. Straight up the middle, like that. There we go. Check it. Yep. I think that looks good. Now I have my medium and short pieces already finished, and what I want is for this center wire to be long enough so that when all three hang from the ear wire, the short one will dangle just down to the very first bend. And then of course this will be at the same level like that. And then that shows me where I want to make my loop for the dangle. And before I make that permanent, I am going to check it against this one because you don't want to have one earring longer than the other. So I'm going to want to bring that up just a little bit. Check it again. This one will do. And now I'm going to make them like that and crimp it after I straighten out that little guy right there. Crimp it so that my loop is nice and round. And then I'm going to fold the tail down and wrap it around. Like that. And you can cut off the excess. If you like, or just tuck it in. Let's use this one. Now I have all three wires ready. Except for one thing. Now comes one of the fun parts. We're going to hammer it a little. We're going to give it a hammered texture with a chasing hammer. And turn it over. Now, the reason for this isn't to make it flat, it's to give it a faceted look. And you want for your wiggles to be opposite the loop. Now we're ready to start the ear wire. I have a 4-inch piece of wire here, and I'm going to wrap it around the the round nose pliers, a third of the way in. And I'm going to crimp that. You want to crimp as closely to the circle as you can so you have a nice shape. And then I want to pay attention over here to what the front of this one looks like. The short piece, it looks like, is on the outside and the medium piece is on the inside. So you will want to slide your long piece on first, and then look at the other one, and it should go the opposite way. Perfect. So let's put on the medium size wire. And then the short one. And I also paid attention to which way the spirals on the medium and short one went. And when you hammer, sometimes things change shape a little bit, so I might want to close these back up a little bit more. For the next part, and this is your crowning jewel, you'll want a bead with a fairly large hole, as I said, for both of these wires to go through. And you want to get it down there as far as you can. You want to look at the size of your last one and compare it. I think I could get a little bit closer than that. Always remember to put your dangles on first, because I've made some lovely ear wires that are secured like this and already had these pieces made, so there was no way to get them on. This way they're absolutely secured. Those will never come off. Alright, so the short tail bends down, and then I look again to see which was the front, and the front is the side where the shortest piece is on the outside. So that's the way that's going to face. And I'm going to grab the loop and wrap that wire around. Since this is a fairly large hole, I don't want to wrap too tightly. I don't want the bead to be able to come off, so I'm just going to tuck that wire in the end of that tail, just like that. And then, this was my front right here. I'm going to bend this wire forward. There's the front again. And then I'm going to grab the handle of a tool or whatever you happen to have around that is wide enough to make an ear wire. You want to make sure that it's about the same size as your other one, and trim it at the same length. And I do different lengths when I trim the earpiece. I don't mind a longer piece. I find shorter pieces will come out of my ears just a little too easily. Well, there you go. Nice and dangly. Well, I'm ready to go make some more of those. I just love them, and I love to wear them. I hope that you're inspired to try something like them, and that if you do, I hope I get to see it. You can email me anytime, Candace@Cool2Craft.com, with your photos and stories. I would love to share them on the website and with the world. Thanks again. Back to you, ladies, and stay crafty, my friends.
What's so cool about creating jewelry is that we all can create something so different. So Candace worked with the wire like you did, but a completely different look.
We all have our little niche.
Yes.
So what did you do?
Well, what I am going to be showing you how to create is a pair of really easy earrings. But what I did is I grabbed my tacky dots. Now these are brand new. And I love this because there's sometimes you want to put together a project really, really quickly and you don't want to have to wait for a wet glue to dry. So these new Aleene's tacky dots are perfect.
Fabulous.
I'm using the Aleene's tacky dot roll and the Aleene's tacky dot singles for this project. What's so great about this is I have a lot of different materials that I'm using, and this dry adhesive works great. It makes it a quick and easy project. For the base, I am using a shipping tag that is a cardstock weight, and I have colored all of my materials with acrylic paint so that they all match. So I have the cardstock, I have fabric, paper towels, some silk flowers, and ribbon. So let me show you how I assemble this. On the fabric, I'm going to need to use lots of the Aleene's tacky dots, so I just cut off a section from the tacky dot roll, and then I can quickly just go down the fabric here and add several dots. Give it a good press. Keep your fingers out of it. It's very sticky. Okay, so I've applied my 4 tacky dots, and now I can just press the fabric right onto that shipping tag. Next, I have my paper towel that I have stamped and stitched, and these are the tacky dot singles, which I love also. You can see that the dry adhesive is between these two clear layers, and you just press this in place. And again, be sure and give it a good press with your finger so that it adheres to your surface. Then you can pull off that liner paper. I'm going to press that in place. Now what I want to do is go to the medium size. I've been using the large, but I want to put my petals together along with my ribbon, and the larger dots are a little bit too large for this step. So this is the medium size. And if they flip over like that, not to worry. I use a nonstick sheet just in case that happens. And I'm going to add a dot of the dry adhesive to the top. And I've taken a piece of velvet ribbon and tied it into a little knot. And that's going to set right in that top dot right here. And then to add that flower onto the shipping tag, put a dot here and press it in place. So this tag is really pretty just on its own, but since the theme of our show today is jewelry, we need to put together a pretty little pair of earrings. And for this I'm using the small Aleene's Tacky Dots to put the layers of petals together for my earrings. And then I am using the small tacky dot to glue that flower right onto the metal post. Now that is easy. What you want to do if you're giving these earrings as a gift is just punch a little hole into your tag and put the post through. And you have a beautiful handmade card and gift. So, as we've talked about, there's so many different jewelry designs that you can make to create all sorts of different looks.
It's endless. Have you seen the jewelry aisles in the local craft stores now?
It's incredible.
I mean, it started, like a little tiny panel of beads and a few little findings, and now it's like 3 aisles 20 feet long.
Right. And what's so great is there's a lot more choices of beads and findings that really, really spark your creativity.
Because there's such a selection, you just, it's endless again.
Right. There's any sort of combinations that you want to create in any type of jewelry. And there's so many resources online these days to take a look at the different styles, because like in my project today, I didn't do beadwork, but I do beadwork in other jewelry projects, or I do a lot of polymer clay jewelry making and such. I'm sure everybody's wondering about your necklace too.
This is from my collection of my soda can pieces that I make, the flowers I make out of different soda cans. I actually have a collection of them on my website, ecoheidi.com.
And you've actually been selling those.
I sell them in art galleries and fine gift galleries, and I just love to make them. I love making eco things, and I can make all different colors. And so actually the funny thing is, this is Diet Coke, and my biggest seller is the red Coke. You wouldn't think that, the classic Coke, and but I just love making them. They're lots of fun.
Well, let's go ahead and do a wrap-up of what we created on today's show, so you get to go first.
Okay, I did my eco-friendly, the water bottle or any plastic bottle that is flat and fabric, using the Aleene's Fabric Fusion glue to create earrings, and you could also go on and make a necklace from it. It's a fabulous technique that I'm sure everybody's going to try it out.
I love them. I'm not going to want to take these off. Why is it that we always like do this?
I think it was even
To
like
dangle.
when we were little and we
Is that what
twirled.
it
We wanted
was?
something to twirl.
Yeah. just going out in the breeze will make these all aflutter. Candace Jedrowitz created these hammered metal dangle earrings. Super cool, super easy project.
Very creative.
And I created this gift tag and matching earrings, and I used my Aleene's tacky dots in order to put this project together quick and easy.
And that's what it is. Using those Aleene's tacky dots, they are so quick and easy to use.
And they hold.
Yes, they do.
We want to invite you to join us at facebook.com/Cool2Craft. This is where you can check in with us every day and find out what's going on in the Cool2Craft universe.
Or go to our website, Cool2Craft.com, and you can see what's going on, all of our tutorials, our videos, and everything you'll find there. Any of the archive shows, our show that plays for a whole week 24/7 is on there, is on the website, on live stream. And be sure that you always come to visit us on Mondays because we live chat. You just, maybe you have a question you want to ask
Oh
us.
my gosh, it's so much fun when we have our live chat. So if you're watching us live right now, we're chatting with you. But
Yes.
if you're watching our replays, you need to come and join us Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
And we have newsletters. Oh my goodness, we have newsletters.
Oh, do we have newsletters?
Talk about the Fave Crafts newsletter first.
The Fave Crafts newsletter, it's Cool2Craft Fave Crafts. Be sure you go onto our website, Cool2Craft.com, and up in the right upper corner it says sign up for our newsletter. That's the Cool2Craft Fave Craft newsletter, and it comes out on Tuesdays and Fridays. So everything you saw on the show today is on the Tuesday show, and then there's a special newsletter that comes out on Fridays that has a lot of ideas that you haven't seen before.
And those are the links that takes you right to the print tutorials or the video links. But if you want to know what's going on behind the scenes here at Cool2Craft, every so often, like all the mistakes I make,
Or me.
every so often, I keep threatening to do that too. Every so often, almost daily, we send out a newsletter, and so you'll need to go to the Cool2Craft.com website and sign up for almost dailies. And we have stories to share and links and little bonus videos is what I'm encouraging everyone to do. It's like when we're finished with the show, sometimes we'll say, oh my gosh, we should have mentioned that. And so what we do is we take our video camera and we give you just a little bonus video.
Or sometimes Mom comes over here in the middle of the day and, what are you doing? And then we kind of get a picture of her. It's so cute because she wants to come over into our studios and see what we're up to.
Right. So go ahead and you're going to find all the information you need at Cool2Craft.com. And we also want to encourage you to go to shopcool2craft.com. We do have supplies there for sale for many of the projects that we make on the shows. And you can also click on the projects that we have for sale that benefit donorschoose.org.
Because some of the projects, the actual designs that we do on the show will go on for sale. And they're really inexpensive if you think about it.
I know.
I mean, they're really priced fabulous because, and all the funds go to donorschoose.com.
Right.
.org.
100% of the net proceeds of any of the sales of the finished projects that we have at shopcool2craft.com, we donate to Donors Choose.
Handmade. Everything's handmade from us.
Things that you see on the show. And if you don't see an item for sale there and you've seen it on the show and you want to buy it, just email us because
It's probably sitting in our studio.
I know, we're running out of room. So I think that wraps up our jewelry episode for today, and we are all dressed up, so we need to go out, girlfriend.
Let's go have some tea.
Okay, sounds good. Get creative.
Get inspired.
Be cool. Bye.
Bye-bye.